The Free Minds Method is a 3-step process to help you free your mind and your heart. So although it's a method with 3 distinctive steps, what I love about this method that I've created is that it's custom to you. So we're all different, we're all unique, and this method helps to celebrate authenticity and originality. So there's no one shoe fits all, is what I'm saying. We follow this 3-step process to freeing our minds and hearts, but we do it through authenticity by individual readings guided by your higher mind and your spirit team. So if we follow step 1, the first step to the free mind is to clear your channels. So many of us are weighed down by beliefs that we don't even really resonate with. Dogmas tied to religions, societal programming. And to be honest, this is what's creating our realities. So the creation of this method really came from healing my own personal struggles with feeling not good enough, low self-esteem, not feeling worthy enough of success, self-sabotaging my success. Every time I would level up, I'd sabotage myself and bring myself back down. And this was really stemming from not freedom in my mind and no freedom in my heart. My heart was screaming the energy of abandonment, rejection, words, things that were said to me growing up and into adulthood when I stepped into my authentic truth. Certain things like that I was raggedy, that I deserved to be beat up, that I, when I speak I sound stupid and I look mentally ill. All of these things that were said to me that although I knew weren't true, I held on to. They formed this form of energetic blueprint in my mind and my heart, which led to self-imprisonment. It led to poverty. It led to homelessness. My journey through homelessness wasn't because I was strung out on drugs. It was because my heart was screaming, I'm not good enough. I will always be rejected. I will never be loved. And although a part of me said that's not true, that was the program that was on repeat in my mind, in my heart, in causing a physical manifestation of lack, of scarcity. So through my own evolution, my journey, in addition to reading people, in addition to offering a program that first started as ancient wisdom to help reprogram the mind and quickly shifted into Journey with JoJo, which with time noticed that this was also a sacred container to help reprogram the mind as well. I noticed that I needed some sort of specific method to really put in place to help others, as well as myself, free our minds and free our hearts. The first step of clearing your channels also comes with self-responsibility and accountability. What I've noticed is that our subconscious, the beliefs that we tell ourselves, our self-talk, our thoughts are actually what's dictating our reality. It doesn't matter if someone hates you or dislikes you or says that they're going to attack you. That was another thing I really battled with, was feeling like I was always under attack, that people were always going to try to hurt me, steal from me, take from me, and that I had to react to defend. And I was living in this state of paralysis, holding myself back. I call it symbolically self-imprisonment. No one can really attack you and it affect you unless you allow it spiritually and energetically. People can think whatever they want and project whatever they want to you, but it should not affect you. And although I believe this, I had to really walk the walk in my own evolution and learn this. I had to switch the way I was thinking and talking to myself, saying, I am worthy. I am enough. You deserve the wealth. You deserve the success. You deserve the power. As a medical intuitive, I see this time and time again. Health is really rooted in the distribution of power through our field, through our mind, through our hearts. And that is how I've created this sacred Free Minds method. So with step 1, clearing your channels, you become accountable for your reality, the good and the ugly. I want to stop right here and say one thing. Life is like, everything's frequency. That is a law of this universe. And when we have this wave, this frequency, we have to understand that it's from the same continuum. So the ups and the downs are really one. They're not separate. The contrasts in our lives are truly one source. That reminds me a lot of like gender. We have the laws of energy that resonate with the feminine energy, and the laws of energy that resonate with the masculine energy, but it's still one source. It's one wavelength when we look into quantum physics. For example, everything has an energetic gender blueprint, okay? Not necessarily meaning your sexuality, but like if we were to look at a cell has a masculine aspect to it, which would be the structure, okay? The structure of the cell that keeps it in place. Your skeleton system keeps you in place. That's the masculine. It provides. The feminine energy grows, helps us to evolve, helps us to move, okay? And so we have that on a cellular level. We have it throughout our bodies, throughout our lives. Everything has this aspect of this yin and yang energy, but it is all one, essentially equal. And that's how you free your mind. The first step, we begin to say, look, I am producing this reality. I'm producing this. I'm producing this homelessness. I'm producing this cheating spouse. I'm producing this illness. I'm producing these accidents. Although that's hard to sit with, you really step into a free mind and free heart if you can just take that first step to self-accountability. You can look through the contrast and say, there is so much empowerment here. I can look to my past and see where this program was put in my mind and see that that program is producing this result. I can see that this program was put into my heart. This is the way that I'm emotionally emoting through life, and it's producing this physical reaction, manifestation. That should be empowering to you. And why I love the Free Minds method is because it works with one-on-one mentorship, spiritual mentorship with me and you. We can learn and grow by ourselves. We can heal ourselves, but there is so much magic when we come together. And part of this method, the third step to committing to your continual evolution, is I actually have you share your story with me one-on-one, intimately. After we've gone through 12 weeks of reprogramming the mind, clearing yourself, knowing thyself is step 2, and 3 is committing that to the fact that you are always growing, you're always learning, and you're continually evolving. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to start over. It's okay for new beginnings. It's all part of this path. So we embrace it and accept it. And again, back to this community aspect of the Free Minds method is I have you share your newfound sense of story. I find that when we speak our story, it helps us shatter the matrix. It helps us break free from all of the judgment of ourselves and other people. We say we own who we are and we're proud of it. So part of this method in the last final step is you actually speaking out and feeling heard and received in a safe container that we've created over the past 12 weeks, which is really, really transformative. When working with clients, I notice when they're able to speak their truth, feel heard and received, something clicks in the heart, something clicks in the mind. This is how we free ourselves. Okay, so you grow so much more when you have a coach, when you feel that you have community, when you feel heard and received. It does something to your heart, and it is freeing of your mind. So with the first step, we'll go back here. That's kind of a walkthrough of the journey with JoJo, using the Free Minds method that I've created. But step 1 is so unique because I'm clairvoyant. I'm a medical intuitive. I'm able to read patterns. I'm able to communicate with your spirit guides and your higher mind. I actually listen to the patterns that are holding you back. A lot of this will be validation. We should never seek outside validation outside of ourselves. But if you are struggling with trying to free your mind, this will help you to say, aha, I know what she's talking about, and I see it clearly now. I'm honest. I'm trustworthy. I will tell you like it is, even if it's uncomfortable. Ask my clients, read my reviews. I'm known for it. So it'll benefit you if you can embrace it and do something about it. So we'll look at spiritual attachment, entity removal. We'll go ahead and look at the subconscious mind and what programs are on repeat, whether this is from religious dogma, societal dogma, that is just not working for you. My whole life, I've realized that I was different. I'm unique. And I didn't celebrate it because I self-sabotaged myself for the longest time. I didn't feel worthy of being good. I didn't feel worthy of being admirable. I didn't feel worthy for literally anything good. And I would always create good, but I just couldn't enjoy it. It was never enough. Or I'd sabotage it and then I would just have nothing at all and abandon my success. So one of the things I've learned is, instead of going to other people's programs and programming my mind through their methods, I have learned to appreciate other methods and other ways of spiritual practices and beliefs. But I realized that my uniqueness is why I'm here on earth, and everybody else is the same way. We're all here uniquely as an expression of source. So our perspectives naturally are going to be different. Our laws, the way that we see the world, is going to be different. Although everything in society pushes to mold us into one size fits all, this is where struggling and suffering begins. So working with me in step 1 of the Free Minds Method is I help you to identify these patterns of restriction so that you can face it head on and say, look, that ideology of karma is just not working for me. I see that I learned this religion. It's beautiful. It helped me as a stepping stone. I learned this spirituality practice, but I see it now as spiritual dogma, and it helped me with my evolution, but I'm going higher. This is my authentic truth. So I help you to really dive deep into your subconscious. We look into your dream state together. I help you to understand your dreams, to unblock your dreams so that you can listen to what is on repeat. If you can identify in your subconscious dreams what's going on, you can see clearly what you will produce in your physical reality. So we don't really have these type of talks within our tribe and family anymore, but it's a way to freedom. It's a way to reprogramming your mind. So we look at your subconscious as well, subconscious dreaming. We're also going to identify what's triggering you. This is something I've struggled with for years, being in fight or flight mode. I would be triggered so easily. Not because, I'm a bad person, but because I was living in flight or fight. My nervous system was overwhelmed, tired, weighed down by psychic guck, emotional guck, unforgiveness, resentment, all of these lower energies were just plaguing my nervous system. So I'd be good and then triggered. And, I would suffer privately. I would suffer privately and feel taken out, exhausted, having to deal with verbal tics and muscle spasms. My nervous system would just flat out be like, time out, time out, time out, time out. You cannot go further. You can't get to that next level until you address this. And so I suffered alone for a long time until I realized that I have more power in the way that I'm choosing to respond than what I'm led to believe. There's no need to always defend. There's no need to always react. And that was me on my journey into the 5D consciousness of being an observer versus always reactionary, always feeling threatened, always feeling like, oh my God, something bad's going to happen to me. Just being in that negative kind of persistent mindset that I was so programmed and stuck in. So we're going to identify where you're being triggered, if you can allow yourself to know, because then we can get to the root of the subconscious need that is getting your attention for you to resolve. That's like when we have an illness, you're not being punished, you're not under threat. It's your body's way of letting you know there's a distortion in your field. You're holding on to a distortion. Your body's illnesses, your triggers are trying to bring you back into harmony, back into alignment. I talked about the wave at the beginning of this. Frequency. Everything is frequency. You have a biofield, and distortions can collect there. This is where sound healing is so powerful, to break up those distortions. Sound, our conversations in community through the sacred journey, help to move matter, okay? So we'll look at your triggers, and then we have a greater scope of your subconscious. Now, how do we reprogram the mind? Science would say theta brain state. So a lot of people, a lot of men, I hear this very often, say, oh, I can't be hypnotized. I can't be hypnotized. Well, you are hypnotized. You have been. We all have been. But by age 7, that's where we begin to kind of shift out of the theta brain state. So it's a very low frequency. You hear it. It's very low, like hum. And your brain is in theta up until 7 or 8 years old, and this is where you're being hypnotized. Your subconscious is programmed. So as adults, we aren't really walking around in theta like we once were as children. But what we can do is right before we go to sleep and upon waking throughout our day, we can use repetition and in between the waking and dream state to reprogram our mind. So one of the most important parts also of this journey, aside from all of the 12 readings that you'll receive, are to listen to the reprogramming guided audio meditations. So I encourage self-hypnosis on this journey. You can hypnotize yourself. I provide you with some theta reprogramming. We're going to identify inner child healing if that's needed, soul fragmentation if that's needed, soul loss healing if that's needed, understanding your yin and yang energy integration, the anima and animus integration. So all of these parts of us, I'll provide you with, after each session, a guided meditation. It's your job to listen to it before bed, upon waking, throughout your day when you're just maybe starting to ruminate. This is a guided journey by you in spirit, and I am the coach. I'm here to help you to be accountable and kind of guide the method that your higher mind is guiding you. So if you apply what you've learned in the readings, you do the clearing work, which also incorporates energy healing and Reiki sessions. We go into the step 2. After we've cleared all of the gunk away, we understand your subconscious is producing the poverty, the self-sabotage, the eating disorders, the toxic relationships, the job loss, whatever it is you're going through, the illnesses. We see clearly. We're taking accountability for our subconscious mind. The step 2. We move there. Now this is the fun part of the journey with JoJo and the Free Minds method. It's the know thyself integration. This is so important, okay? During this journey, you will be provided several guided meditations, but I also do 2 custom meditations based on what your response is. So it'll be your responsibility to say, hey JoJo, I'm struggling with this. Maybe it's addiction. Maybe it's not being able to save money. Whatever it is, I create you a custom self-hypnosis just for you. So that'll also assist you in this integration. Now the second part here, the integration, is knowing thyself. And that's why you speaking out loud to me in the safe container is part of your transformative healing. And I call it community healing. Self-healing still, you're using your voice, you're taking initiative, but you're with someone else, which is really sacred and powerful. So with this part, step 2 of the Free Minds method, we dive into your natal chart, which is super fun. Maybe you're struggling with wanting to know where a great place to live would be for yourself. A lot of us, when we awaken, we're like, okay, I gotta move. Where should I live to maximize my prosperity? So we can also look at your astrocartography chart and see where the lines are that would give you probably the greatest sense of home, or help increase money, or whatever it is you're seeking to acquire. We also will look into your life contract, also known as your earth contract, what you've signed on to do. So understanding your skills more deeply, your soul's purpose more deeply, pivotal years in your life to make change. We also will be meeting your guides and angels. This is amazing. I've witnessed this over and over in Journey with JoJo. When you're connecting with me as a spiritual coach, I can see the same thing you're seeing, but through a different perspective. So when your guides step forward and I'm helping you to meet them through a meditation, you could say, yeah, I'm seeing this, and then you're seeing this, and that helps you with confidence to reading energy in the invisible world. There's nothing like it. You can do these guided meditations on YouTube to meet your guides. You can read the books. But let me tell you, There's something so powerful of meeting with a spiritual coach to meet your guides. It's validating, and it helps to boost your confidence. And also, I've seen this time and time again where like spirit attachment step forward. I'm like, that's not a guide. That's not a guide. And I say, don't you sense this here? Don't you see this here? That's the discernment of energy. We don't give awareness. We don't give communication to that lower energy. That's not a guide of higher source. Okay? So I help you to clear all those attachments out of the way so your most authentic voice can come through, your higher mind, your guides and angels. And if you were really into mediumship, maybe meeting with loved ones on the other side, like pets, family, and friends too. So it's a sacred reconnection to your spiritual you. You're a spirit. You're a soul that's eternal. Your 5D consciousness is unconditional love. And you feel so much more empowered once you say, the stars are aligned. I know my contract. I know my guides. I know thyself. That is your key. I call it your spiritual keys throughout life. Then you won't have to hire a medium. Then you won't have to hire a psychic or a life coach, You'll be able to find these answers from within you. You'll know your sacred language. You'll know your symbology. And you'll be able to find the answers that you need in the moment where you are. The third step of the Free Minds method is to commit to continual evolution. This is huge. You have to understand to be able to give and receive without guilt is a skill. To be able to give and receive pleasure without guilt is a skill. To be able to give and receive and not punish yourself and not abandon yourself is a skill. Self-love is developed. So committing to your continual evolution helps you to not be so hard on yourself. Helps you to love yourself. It helps you to allow yourself the space to make a mistake, to be wrong. Okay, part of this journey is we incorporate a forgiveness ritual where we are apologizing from our soul and sending forgiveness from our soul and reconnecting with divinity. Okay, so that is part of the continual evolution, is knowing it's okay to make a mistake. I love myself for who I am. I'm okay to say I'm sorry. I'm okay to give forgiveness and receive it. I allow myself to give and receive. I allow myself to be me, and committing to, this is where I'm at today, and it's okay if I'm somewhere different tomorrow. I still love me, and I've got this. So if this message really resonated with you, I hope you join the Free Minds method through the Journey with JoJo 12-week spiritual evolution, clearing, knowing thyself, and committing to your excellence and your success. I'm Jordan Johnson from JoJoEmpathic.com, and I hope that you join me.